Okay, so on this project, what we're going to do, if you look at here, the part is a finished part. So we have two operations on this part. I mean, first we have to hold on to the part on the jaws, right? This is how we're going to hold on to the jaws. Jaws is going to be something like this. And we're going to hold onto the jaws right there. We're going to face this side first. And then we're going to OD rough and finish just up to here, up to this point. Because this side you cannot cut it. We're going to flip it over and we're going to do the other side in second op. So here we're going to face this, we're going to OD rough and finish, and we're going to cut the threads. So this side will be done. Then we're going to flip over, and then we're going to hold on to this diameter right here. That's how we're going to hold on to the jaws right here. And then we're going to face this side, whatever the leftover material is, we're going to face, and then we're going to drill it, and then we're going to bore the other side. So it's going to be two different operations. So I already have a part. I already programmed it. I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you from the scratch that how you're going to set it up and how you're going to run it. So this part has two operations. So let me go ahead and go over this part. If you look at this part, it's right here. The first operation we're going to cut on this side, and we're going to finish up to here. Then we're going to hold on to this side, and then we're going to rough and finish and drill and bore this side. So there is your first operation. We're going to face this side, then we're going to rough, we finish, we cut the thread. Then here we go, we flip the stock flip. So flop stick means this side is done, it's going to flip over, then we're going to cut this side here. So this operation is your flip. How we're going to flip it, I'm going to show you that. That operation is right here, stock flip. Stock flip means you've done one side, one operation. Now you're going to flip it over and hold on to the jaws, and then you finish the other side. That's called your stock flip. So I'm going to run this whole part and show you how this works. Then we will go from there. Look at this here. The first, I'm talking about the first operations: face, rough, finish, thread, and then we're going to flip it. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to operation changed. I want to say tool change, and we're going to cut it. Look at this. We're going to go slow. So it's going to face this side. Then it's going to rough. So here comes your roughing operation, and then we're going to just go ahead and finish it with the finish tool, one pass. Up to here, just keep an eye on that. I'm holding on to the maximum diameter here, but I'm finishing up to here. Up to here means, if you look at this blueprint, I'm cutting up to here. We're facing it, OD turn, rough, and finish up to this mark right here. We're not touching this side. That's where I'm holding on to my jaws, this side. This side is not done. I'm just doing this part right here. So we are basically taking care of this area right there. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the thread. Here we go. The second op is already, it flipped the stock. This side is done. Now we flip that and we're going to hold on to this diameter, the finished diameter, and this is whatever is left over here. If you look, we have to face this because there's still material left over. Then it's going to rough and finish this side right here. And then it's going to drill, center drill, drill, and bore this side. So let's do it. Here we go. It's going to start roughing it. Then it's going to start OD rough. If you look at here, now we are working on the back side, right here on this side. We face this side, we OD rough this side, finish it, then we're going to center drill, drill, and bore. There comes your finish. And there's your drill. And there is your boring bar. It's going to bore the other side. And that is finish pass, and we are done with the part. So this is going to be your finished part. First we cut this side right here. Then we use the flip operation. We flip and finish the other side. So this is what you guys have to do on this part. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how that works. Excuse me. So these are your operations. I mean, this geometry has been flipped. That's why this geometry is looking like that. Your original geometry, the way you're going to start, I'll show you that. So here, it's going to be my lathe face. First, it's going to be on this side here, but it looks weird because this geometry is flipped over already. So the way we're going to start with our original geometry. Here we go. We're going to facing that. Then lathe rough. We are roughing. This is the other side. That's why it looks like that. The geometry is flipped over. So let me bring out the original geometry and then we're going to start programming that. Face rough finish thread start. File open, and that file is going to be on my right here. Don't save it. Oh, my Mastercam crashed. Okay, let's go find one more time. File open, shared Mastercam. There you go. So this is your original part. When you have to draw this, I'm not going to go over the drawing, the geometry. You should be able to do the geometry. So this is the geometry you have to draw, guys. If you look at your blueprint, it's right here. So this is your blueprint. So you have to draw just this area right here, the top part. You have to draw just this part right there. just this part. That's what you have to draw. But here we have to draw this geometry because we're going to use this geometry to flip it over and face it. Then we have to draw this one. So we have to center drill, and then we're going to go ahead and bore it. So this is the geometry. If you look at here, I have drawn it right there. There we go. That's my geometry. So I'm holding onto here, but the first operation I'm going to do, I'm going to face it OD rough up to here, up to this chain. We're not going to touch that. That's how we're going to just do up to here. And then we're going to thread it. Then we're going to go ahead and flip it. So this is very important to understand that the overall stock size, how much is material, is going to be my total material length and the diameter. The diameter of, if you look at the blueprint, my diameter is, finished diameter is 4.8. So I'm going to put 4.8 plus 100,000 and 100,000 each side extra material. So it's going to be almost 5 inches diameter. So you have to pay attention that my diameter, stock diameter is 5 inches. And my overall length is going to be, if you look at here, your overall length is going to be 7.5 is finished. Then I'm going to leave about 100 or 150,000 over here. And then I'm going to have half an inch maybe over here. So my jaws can hold on to it. So the overall numbers you have to remember, because we're going to use that number when we're going to flip it over. So let's go over this and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here is my tool path. So if you're going to go to stock setup and properties, we're going right here. So look at this. My OD diameter, if you look at the blueprint, is, I'm going to go ahead, is 4.8 and my overall length is 7.5. So that's what we did here. 4.8 is my overall diameter and my length is 7.5. Perfect. Now, OD margin, how much material I have over here? 100,000 on each side. So we have 100,000 here, 100,000 here. So total is 200,000. So the stock diameter is going to be what? 4.8 plus 200, which is 5 inches. That's the original stock diameter, 5 inches. Keep that in mind, because we're going to use that number when we're going to flip it over. They're going to ask where you was holding earlier. When this is going to be finished, this diameter is going to be the finished diameter, which is 4.8, not 5. This is my stock, is the gray line you guys see, the stock line, that is 5 inches right now diameter. But when it's going to finish up to here, we're going to hold on to this diameter. This diameter is going to be 4.8. So we have to remember that. Now, overall length, this is very important. The overall is 7.5. And this is 150,000 here. That's the transfer position. And we're going to use this number in our flip. So that is 150,000 on the face. Remember that. We got 150,000 on the face. So 150,000 plus 7.5. That's going to be the overall length. That is my stock position. Overall length is going to be how much? 7.5 plus 150,000 is 7.65. Z minus total is 7.65 from the face, from the origin to here is 7.65, the stock length. The reason I'm calling these numbers, because these numbers we need when we're going to flip it over the stock. Keep that in mind. And then we're going to hold on to, this is finished part, we're going to hold on to over here somewhere. So how much is going to be that from Z distance? It could be 1.5 Z minus, it could be 1.6. I'll show you that. So that's going to be my final position on the other side. So right now, let's go and get started. So keep that in mind. My margin is 100,000, each size 200. So your diameter is going to be 4.8 plus 100,000 each size. So it's going to be 5 inches. This is 7.5 plus 150,000 is going to be 7.65. So these two numbers you guys have to remember, and we're going to use that. So I'll just go ahead and hit it OK. And here my jaws are standard what we do that. So that's where we're going to start, and we're going to go ahead and face this operation. So for facing, I'm going to use my OD face 80 degrees. And here, rough step over, we can use whatever we want, 50,000, 25,000, 30,000, doesn't matter. And okay, so we're going to face it, standard, whatever we've been doing. So now I face this, we finish the face, we can start from here now. So we finish the face, we can start from there. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and rough it. And I'm going to rough it using my partial chain option. Don't pick chain, otherwise it's going to select this whole thing, partial. So partial, I'm going to start from this arc right here, and I'm going to go up to here. That's all I'm going to finish. Hit end chain, okay. And I'll use 80 degree insert tool holder. Rough standard, we're going to leave 10,000 on X and 10,000 on Z. Lead in, lead out, straight in, lead out, straight out. We can go this way or this, doesn't matter in this case. So hit OK. And here, disable stock, use stock outer boundary, and rough it. There is my roughing. If you look at here, I'm going up to here. I can go ahead, if I want to, I can go and extend that a little bit. And the lead out. I can extend that out another 100,000. And there you go. It went over the chamfer. So I finished up to here. So that's my OD rough. And there comes my OD finish. And I can use the last chain. So just use last. And again, going up to here. Hit in chain and OK. And here comes my 55 degrees tool holder. Should be here somewhere right there. Hit OK. Finish. I'm going to use plunge parameters, this guy over here, because I'm going to plunge into this so it can take care of that. Hit OK. And hit OK. So there is that. Select all and let's run it. Okay, we have to extend this also on the finish. I think we forgot to do that. Yeah, we forgot to do that finish, so we have to extend that also on finish pass another 100,000 or 150. I don't know how much we have here. We have on this one lead out 100,000. So we can go 100,000 on finish also. under lead out, extend 100,000. We're going to go ahead like this right there. So that's good now. Okay. So now if look, the only thing left over here is the thread. We have to cut the thread. And we are cutting 3¼ 4 TPI, threads per inch, 3¼ diameter stop. I mean, OD diameter of your thread, 3.25. So let's go ahead and do the threading. There comes my thread. Thread, and it's our right hand thread, so make sure you use OD thread right. If you're using left hand, OD thread left. So pick that guy, and here you can type lead number here, or you can go compute from formula. So I can just go ahead and type my lead here. My lead is 4, and my major diameter is 3.25. And that's it. It will calculate the minor diameter by itself by having major diameter. So hit OK, and there it is. And it will calculate the thread depth also for you. So start position is right here. That's where we can start. I can say start position over here. That number is Z minus 1.5. If you're going to start further out a little bit, you can do that, but this is a good place. And end position, I can end, not right here, I can end a little further out over here. So hit OK. And there is my thread. There is my thread. There we are. So we are done with the first operation this side. We faced it, we already rough it, we finish it, we cut the thread. So I'm going to select all and let's verify this. Okay, to verify it. All right. There we are. And finish. And thread. And we are done. So this side is done. Now look at that. I have to finish the other side now. This side right here. So that means I'm going to flip it over. Now when we're going to flip it over, the jaws is going to hold on to this diameter, not on this. So this is what I was talking about, that this diameter is 4.8 plus 200. This diameter was 5 inches. Now this diameter is 4.8. So when we're going to flip it over, we have to tell that my original diameter was 5. Now this is 4.8. And when I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to hold it on to finish over here somewhere, so my tool can come and face and turn this off. So now basically I'm going to flip it over like this. So my jaws are going to hold on to over here. So how much is going to be my distance from the face of the part to here? we have to figure it out. It's going to be Z minus maybe 1.5, maybe 1.6, maybe 1.7. We'll figure out that where is a good number where I can hold my jaws over here. So keep that in mind. And now the overall finish of my stock is 7.5. The length is 7.5. If you look at your blueprint, this is 7.5. But we have 150,000 transfer position from the origin. We have 150,000 extra on the first operation, if you guys remember. So that 150,000, we have to consider that. So that's what we're gonna do. Isometric, go to top right there. So now we're gonna go ahead and flip it over to the other side. So there comes your stock flip. It says output a comment and program stop in the NC code. So here you're going to stop this 1, 2, 3 after 4 operations. Your part is done. Your machine is going to stop. You're going to say M0, stop it. You're going to take the part out and we have to flip it over to do the other side. Then we have to set up your 0 again on the machine. So here, after you've done this, you say stock flip. And look at this. This comes a new setup now. So this is what I'm talking about earlier. This is what I was talking about, that what's going to be the original position of your Z. This is, if you remember, I told you that we have 7.5 and we have 150,000 extra over here. So total is 7.65. So that number is going to go right here, your original stock position. That is minus 7.65. Original. We are talking about original position. Transfer position, we had extra 100,000, 150,000 material over here. That's where we want to transfer because my 0 is from here to here. My Z0 is 150,000. So that's where we want to transfer that, my origin. So here my transfer position is going to be Z.150,000. Original position of the diameter. If you guys remember, I told you that we have overall 4.8 and we have 100,000 material each side. That's 0.2. So 4.8.2 is is 5 inches. So our stock here, original position of the diameter was 5 inches. And original position of the finish size is, if you look at here, that is 7.5. This guy, 7.5. So here we have to just go ahead and put your Z minus 7.5. Final position of where I'm going to hold on to the final position. If you remember, this is my final position where I'm going to hold is 4.8. The original was 5 inches, but now it's 4.8 because I'm going to hold on to the jaws on this. I'm going to hold on to my OD diameter, which is a finished diameter 4.8. So here my final position where I'm going to hold is going to be 4.8. And once it's going to flip it over, where I can hold, I can try with Z minus 1.5. This number I'm talking about, that number from this Z0 of the part to here, that where when I'm going to flip it over, that how much is going to be that. I'm guessing it's 1.5. If we have to go further out, we can go further out. We can change it. I'll show you that. So let's let's put z minus 1.5. And here you're going to say transfer geometry. You have to check out this box. I want to transfer this geometry to flip it over. Blank original geometry, this is going to be blank. You don't, if you check this, then you're going to have two geometries, your original and the flip over. Then you're going to get messed up with that. You're going to get confused. So you say blank, you do not want to see that other one. You want to only see the new one. And I'm going to select the geometry. So go to select, transfer geometry, blank the original geometry. After you have all these numbers, you say select the geometry. It says select entities to transfer. I'll go to my top view here and I'm going to select all these geometries right there. There you go. End selection. Blank geometry is on. As soon as I'm going to hit OK, it's going to flip over. Watch. There you go. My start is flipped. And here is my origin finish. This is 150,000 I was talking about. So overall from here to here is your 7.5 plus 150,000, which is this number right here. If you look at parameter, that's 150,000 right there. So machine knows that it's going to how far it has to cut to make it zero. So that's his 150,000 material left over on this side. Hit OK. And that's how it's going to flip. Now look at this. How far we are holding onto the jaws from 0. I put z minus 1.5. If you look at here, I put that number z minus 1.5. I want to go, I think that maybe my tool is going to, it's not going to touch, it's going to crash. So let's say I'm going to move my jaws a little over here. So I'll try z minus 1.6 or 1.7 or 1.750. I can hold it right here. So my tool is going to be all clear. Because this diameter is finished. If you guys remember, we finished on the first operation. So I'm going to change my z from here to here. So go to parameters on lathe stock flip and say my z minus, I want to go 1.7 minus 1.7. That's where I'm going to hold on to 1.75. Okay, watch my stock is going to, look at this. Now it's good. From the face to here, z is minus 1.75. If let's say if I'm going to put z minus 1 inch, or minus 1.2, doesn't matter. You're holding your jaws over here. When your tool is going to turn this diameter right here, it's going to come and crash. So that position is from the face where you want to hold your jaws for the second operation. That distance is from here to here. Now I put 1.25, it's holding right here. So this is your jaws. When your tool is going to OD rough this geometry right here, it's going to crash over here. So keep that in mind. 1.75 is a good number right here. Z minus 1.75. Okay. And there is that. That's your stock flip. And now we can just go ahead and face this because machine knows how much material left over on this side. It's going to face that. Then we're going to OD rough and OD finish up to here. Then we're going to drill it and bore it. And we're done. So these numbers plays a big role to get the finished geometry of your part. This numbers, because we are not parting, we are not cutting this tool, parting this off like we do other part. We don't have any extra stock. We are working close on the whole length, and that numbers depends how much was in the face, how much is the total Z minus finish. That will make that Z control your Z dap and your diameter where we are holding earlier and where we are holding on the finish. All right. Hit OK. All right. So it flipped over, but make sure you guys transfer the geometry. Make sure you check that box, and when you say select, you select the entire geometry and you say blank. If you say unblank it, look at this, what's going to happen here. You see the original geometry, the one we used for the first operation. And that's going to confuse you that which geometry you're going to use for second op. So make sure you blank it. Now you have two geometry here for first operation and for second operation, the one we flip over. So keep that in mind. You say blank that. You do not want to see the original geometry right there, the blanket. Here we go. All right, so we are good to go. Okay, dokie, let's move on. Now, after we flip the stock, we're going to just go ahead and use the same operation. OD rough, OD, we're going to finish up to here. And then we're going to center drill, and we're going to bore that. All right, face it. Let's do the facing. There is my face. Let's use the same tool. Whatever you want to face it, I can face it off 50,000 each pass. That's good. And hit OK. We'll face this side. Look at that. The extra material we had on the other side, it's going to face it. There we are. All right. So we faced it. And now we're going to go and rough and finish it. So we're going to say rough it. Again, use partial. So I'm going to rough it out from here up to here. This, don't select this one. This is already done in the previous operation. This is finished. Now we are finishing what are left over here. Hit end chain and OK. OD rough, 80-degree insert. We can use the same standard lead in and lead out. Make sure it's not extending out. Yeah, no, it's good. And I can go straight from here up. We can go like that also. Lead in is good. Hit OK. Hit OK. That's going to finish it. So we have lathe face, OD rough, and OD finish. Finish. Finish the end previous last chain. Hit OK. And I can use 50, we can use 55-degree tool holder. Hit OK. And there is that tool path. So if I'll go ahead and try this, lathe rough. Okay, we can go with face. After we finishing the stock flip, using lathe face, rough, and finish. So let's go ahead and run that one. Here's my facing on the other side. And there is your finish. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to just go ahead and pause this recording for a second. So that will take care of that. And if we'll select all, and I'm going to verify this, this is how it works. It's going to go face it, rough it, finish it, thread, and flip. Once it's going to flip it, it's going to face the other side. Face it, OD rough, and OD finish. So we can go ahead and use center drill, drill, and bore this side. There we go. All right, so here comes my drill. Center drill, I can go use drill, and that's my regular drill, spot drill right here, 750 spot drill. We can use that. Simple drill, no pack. The depth, I can go about minus 250 on the depth. It's going to be regular G81 drill counter bore. Drill point is going to be the X0Z0. Clearance is 250. And we are good. Hit OK. And there we go. It's going to go ahead and drill that hole right there. There we are. And now we can drill it. So if you look at drill, this is Z minus 2.25 depth, and it can go further out. We can compensate the tip. So let's go to minus 2.25 on the drill. So I can just go ahead and right click, grab it and drag and click it, say copy after. So I can copy that, just use a different drill if you want to. And we can select from our library, or you can just go ahead and pick up the same option, like I want to drill it. And here you can pick your 1/2 inch. I'm going to use 1/2 inch, 3/4 drill. So if you look at your blueprint, we have 1 inch finish diameter right here of the hole. So I can use 750 drill, 3/4 drill, and then the rest left over, we can just go ahead and bore it. So when we're going to bore, and we're going to make this chamfer also at the same time. Okay, so use 750 drill, drill and no pack. Here comes my depth. I can just go ahead and depth, looking at my print, my depth is 2.25. I can go 2.25 on the depth. And if we have to extend that further in, we can do that also. So let's start with depth minus 2.25. And your options are drill, counter bore, peg drill, whatever you want, you can do that. Hit OK. So it's going right to the tip, that's fine. And the rest we can go ahead and rough it out. And we can finish it. So this is the material left over right here, guys. That's what we're going to clear with our boring bar. So there is my drill. And now we can just use the same operation, rough and finish, to bore inside. So use your rough, and here comes my partial. So I'm going to go right from here to there. Don't select this one, because when your tool is going to start roughing it out, it's going to follow this geometry. The other side of the tool is going to hit the on your on the stock inside. So do not select that. We can just go and finish it a little bit up to here, but we have to be very careful that don't go below that. Then we're gonna have a problem. We can extend the length depth of the drill a little bit more. Let's do that. Let's if you look at the blueprint, we can use the tip compensation option. 2.25 is to the finished bore side, so we have to compensate the tip. So let's do that. We can use that parameter, tip compensation. Drill to compensate, we can put that number here. And which is going to be 0.25. Or we can go even little less than that. This is a little bit too much. 850 should work, maybe even less, I think. Yeah. There we go. 100,000 is a good number. Drill. Depth is 2.25. If I can uncheck this and use my drill depth calculator, 2.25. If I have a standard drill, included angle 180 degrees, 75 diameter, finished diameter, look at this. My add to the depth is 2.25. That's a little bit too much, I guess. Let's try this. 2.475. No, this is way too much. Oh, this is exactly good, actually, right there. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. And this is something we can go ahead and take care in our ID rough and finish. Okay, this is good. If you look at here, you compensate that, and this is exactly what we got right there. 2.25, and we compensate the tip. That's what we did here, compensate the tip. Using calculator, it's 118 degrees standard included angles, 750 diameter. It added the depth. Oh, I added twice. Minus 2.5. Add the depth, 2.25. Hit OK. There you go. Oh, 2.75. What's Come on. Is it okay? No, that's not correct. 2 point. It already have a depth. It has to be 0 first. 750. Okay, add to the depth. So 750 is going to add 225. So look, let's keep adding into that. Okay. Right. 0.225. So it should be minus total depth is 2.25 minus 2.25 and add that 2.475. This is perfect. There you go, right there. Okay, so now we're going to use rough, again partial. We're going to use this chamfer and end up right there. Apply, hit OK. Now the boring bar we are using is going to be, don't use 750 diameter because this hole is 7.5 diameter. So when if you have a same diameter boring bar, when it's going to rough, this hole is going to retract, the other side is going to hit on the stock, on the material inside. So use 1/2 inch diameter. Let's see if we have 1/2 inch over here somewhere. 250, 750, 375. We should have 1/2 inch diameter boring bar somewhere. Okay, there we go. We got 1/2 inch right there. Rough parameters, just like your OD rough and finish I mentioned in our last class, guys. Depth of cut is good. So lead in and out. Look at this. Lead in and out. Lead in is going straight in. Let's move this guy over here. Lead in and out. So it's going lead in straight into the part, and lead out is going at an angle, but I can make it come straight like this. This is coming at an angle. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there we go. Look at that here. It's cutting and it's coming out at an angle. I want to come straight a little bit further down. So let's go and rough it and see what we got. There we go. That's good. Perfect. So here, if I want to, I can extend down a little bit my lead out so it can take care of this little corner right here. So I'll just go ahead and let's see, I can go under lead out. Under lead out, I don't want to come at an angle. I want to come straight like this. So this is coming at an angle. Look at this, lead out is coming at an angle out. I want to come straight, so it can face this face on the at, at the total depth. So I want to come this and I want to extend that about 50,000 or maybe 100,000. 50,000 should be good enough. Okay, hit okay. Now, what happened? This is not right. It went, oh no, I hit the wrong spot. That is not good. So we extend that lead out so it's embedded. Look at this, what happened here. That's what it's doing. I did the wrong one. Look at it. It's coming into that. That's what it's cutting. Here we go. It's cutting too much. It's going to crash. So that is not good. So go lead out. Not extend this guy here. Extend this guy over here. It's 100,000 right now. I'll go maybe another 50,000. Make it 150. 90-degree coming down straight, but it's going to go 150,000. Perfect. There we go. Look at that. Okay, watch here. It's coming down there. Clear, clear, clear. So that's good. Coming another 50,000. But it's make sure it won't hit on the other side. I think we are clear. We are good. Okay, rough it out. All right, lathe rough, and we're gonna do lathe finish. There we go, my finish. And we can use last. Hit OK. And I can use the same tool to finish it. And lead in, lead out, same thing, lead in, I'm going 180 degrees, lead out, go 90 degrees, and extend that also to 150,000. Oh, come on. There you go. And hit OK. Rough and finish. This is your finish pass here. So let's go ahead and run the whole part. So I'm going to stop operation and face that. OD rough, finish, thread, and flip. There comes my face. Here comes my OD rough, finish, spot drill, drill, and bore. There we are. That is your finished part. So here going to talk about this lathe stock flip operation number 5. This is very important, guys. These numbers are very important. And these numbers are got in my original position diameter 5 inches, 7.5, the total length of the start finish. We got it from the blueprint here, 7.5. That's my total, this thing, the 7.5. 4.8 is my finished diameter, which we got it from the print right here. And then we have 150,000. That's the original amount we had left on our stock setup. That's 150,000. So these all are based on, make sure you say blank to geometry, and when you select the geometry. And looking at this stock setup, your original, this is my 4.8, 100,000 on each side. Total is 200. 4.8.2 is 5 inches. Stock margin outside is 150,000. And that's what we had on that. Overall length was 7.5. And we added another 150,000, it's minus 7.65. So if you remember that, we put that under stock flip. We put here 150,000 right here. The original position is 150,000 plus 7.5. This is the original position, 7.65 right here. So these numbers are very important to get the exact length of the finished part on the second arm. I'm going to pause the recording here. Okay. So let me go ahead and.
Sir, quick question.
Yes.
Is that little like
Hold on.
spike? Oh, sorry.
Oh. Okay. So here we go. Let's run this part. We're going to go ahead and face it, OD rough, OD finish, groove, and OD thread. I'm going to run lathe face, rough, finish, groove, and thread. So we're going to go ahead and groove and thread. So let's run these 5 operations. Face it. OD rough it. Finish it. Then we're going to groove this part right here. This is going to be a groove. There we go. That's your groove. There we are. So that's going to be for your OD. And then comes your drill. And then rough and finish. I skipped the drill, spot drill. If you guys want to add, you can add a spot drill here. So there comes my drill. Here comes my boring bar. It's going to bore it. Rough. And we're going to just finish with the same one. We're going to go ahead and use the same tool for finish it. There you go. And done. And there comes my threading. That's it. So talking about lathe thread ID is just, if you go to parameters, you're going to pick up the thread, tool path parameters, you're going to pick up the tool. If you're going to pick up this tool right here, guys, you can tell it's an OD thread right hand. This tool, you're going to pick ID right hand thread. So that is the different geometry for this. This is for outside, this is for inside. So you're going to use that. And then the thread shape parameters are all the same, just like we did earlier. Lead, or you can go from table, or you can compute from formula, put these numbers here, how many lead you have, and the major diameter and the minor diameter is going to calculate by itself. And rest everything is same. But only difference is the tool you're going to select. So you're going to select ID thread, this guy right here. That's for your ID. This is for your OD, the one we use for outside. So just use this guy right here, and rest everything is same. Just pick from the formula or from the table and insert those numbers. And thread cut parameters, you can use gain cycle, which is going to be G76, or you can say longhand, doesn't matter what you want to use it. And rest everything is same. It's going to cut thread inside. So I want you guys to do this part right here. So if I'll go ahead and select all and verify it. Face it. groove, OD thread, drill, and bore. And there comes your ID thread. It should be ID thread, not OD thread. Okay, when we move this, you see this OD thread. There comes my ID thread. Finish it. Perfect. So that is that. View. Okie dokie. All right, so that's what you guys have to do on this project right here. So you have to just create this geometry right here. You don't need the back over here. And I didn't add the parting tool here. If you guys want to add a parting tool, cutoff tool here, you guys can cut off anywhere you want. That's not a problem. Looking at the print, this finishes up to 8.4.8. So you can go another 200,000. You can cut it off at 5 inches. So you can cut it off right here somewhere at 5 inches using your parting tool if you want to. That's your option. All right, guys. So I'm going to just go ahead, pause that recording.